Start your engine!
Welcome to the Porch Beer Sports Podcast.
Left side! These walls wide open. Hell yeah! Episode
Week 10.
6, week 10. Week 10 already.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, week 10, and we got the crew tonight.
We're that much closer to all missing the postseason.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Would you put that juju on me, Ricky Bobby?
it's our destiny.
It's alright, we'll play some Creed. Bury our souls.
Oh,
Yeah, let's get copyrighted before we start.
I thought we were done
Yeah.
with Creed.
No? What? No,
Never
week
done
10.
Creed.
That was last week for the NFL was kind of weird. I felt like certain dudes this last week, like you had like a decent week from most guys, and then you just had like a shit week. I feel like luckily I didn't play JSN, but people that did have JSN and had play them,
Yeah.
dude, what the hell, man? This dude balls out for 40 points almost.
What's even more frustrating is the week before, I had picked up Tyler Lockett in a league. I was pretty desperate because I had DK hurt, thinking like, oh, they're going to get all this volume. This is going to be a perfect opportunity. And he got like 1 point. He just got nothing for me. And then this week they both go off when I avoid it. I'm like, okay, cool. Great. Thank
I've
you.
been
Yeah.
pretty big on JSN for a while, though. I wanted him in the draft, and I've been trying to trade for him all year.
Oh, the pre will trade for him. Go give him a trade.
No, dude, Priel,
I know a guy.
he'll make me trade my third-born children for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
No,
brutal.
yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's been I feel like it's been weird for like Tyreek Hill owners. Me and Garrett were talking today.
Yeah.
Tell
I
me
actually
about
traded
it.
him away in one of my leagues. I just don't know, man. I don't think he's washed. It's just like it was weird. He hasn't looked super good with Tua.
No, he looks good. He just doesn't get the passes. I mean, it's almost like he's not getting his separation or something.
Well, it's their whole passing offense. I mean, Waddle's not getting anything either. I mean, their number one receiver right now is Jonnu Smith, which is foul. You know, nobody's liking that.
Achan's looking pretty great.
Yeah,
Achan with the last 4 weeks of Tua being back, or the last 4 games with Tua, because Tua's only back for 2 games now. But the 4 games he has played with Tua, Achan looks amazing. I mean,
Well, he had like 8 catches last week. It was something crazy like
Yeah.
that. I mean, he was the whole offense. I mean, nobody else really did anything. Jalen Waddle, I didn't even know if he was playing until the very end of the game.
They
Yeah.
caught a pass and then got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Mario
horrible.
Lim came out of nowhere again.
That guy's just taking souls.
Dude, he's going for it now.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
That guy died and became a sleeper agent. I swear, he's just coming back, taking more with him.
Boosting up his KD, dude.
Yeah, yeah, that one's crazy. Yeah, the whole Dolphins team is hard because I have a league where I play in with a 6 passing TD league, and I needed to stream somebody, and I'm still scared. Like Tua's out there, and it's a guy you could take, but I mean, I don't know. The offense just doesn't look the same. They don't seem to be able to extend the field in a meaningful way. I don't know.
Yeah, Tua took off the scramble for a first down, and like my heart dropped. I was like, "Oh, get down!"
If Olave comes back, that's how I'm going to feel in any quick slant. I'm just going to be wincing
dude,
every time.
Speaking of Olave, so as we're speaking of last week and stuff, there wasn't many key injuries that I don't think happened. Olave's was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Olave, he dealt with like a couple bad concussions before he came in the NFL when he played at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So I know he's probably. I've heard rumors that they might just put him on the IR,
Yeah.
and I don't know if. I mean, it's gonna be one of those situations like Tua, is like if like should he come back and play football?
I mean, the hard thing is Tua has already had like big quarterback contracts. Olave's only in his third. I mean, I don't know how many years being in the NFL, but he hasn't been in that long, so he hasn't made all this money to be able to make a choice like that and
Right.
be confident. He has had, I think, 4 or 5 concussions just in his 3 years in the NFL.
Yeah, see, and that's what a lot of people don't realize because he doesn't get the attention like Tua will or a quarterback will.
No.
But yeah, he's dealt with concussion, like pretty serious concussions.
Yeah.
While he was in college and why he's been playing in the NFL. So
That one was pretty serious. I mean,
Yeah.
that one was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Luckily,
I mean,
he was in the locker room after the game.
yeah.
I don't know why would you even want to be in the locker room? That was an embarrassing loss by the Saints.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to because he's an undersized wide receiver as is, and then Derek Carr throws graveyard balls, so that doesn't help.
that's what I was about to say.
You see
Was
all
it
that
Derek
shit with
Carr
Michael
throwing that?
Thomas, dude? Michael Thomas
Yeah, I
just
mean-
completely throwing Derek Carr into the bus.
That one's tough because Michael Thomas, he has to be throwing quick slants. That's all he does. He's the slant man, so he has to be throwing graveyard balls. But Olave doesn't. You don't need to be throwing him to his death. Now, but that's not completely Derek Carr's fault. I mean, if that's how the plays are drawn up and you're telling him to put it there, that's how he's going to put it. But it's obviously not great, and it also sucks because you throw that ball to AJ Brown and it doesn't matter. He's not going to get killed like that. Olave is an undersized wide receiver as is. Doesn't take hits well, runs very vertical.
Dude, I don't know. AJ Brown's hurt every other week too.
Yeah, but his are
and
like
there's
his
another
knees.
key
It's a little
injury
more
this
chilled
week.
out.
AJ Brown did leave the game.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith seasoned.
Devontae Smith's dealing with an injury too. Hurt his hamstring.
tell me that.
He looks
Don't tell
so
me
much
that.
better. He looks so much better though when AJ Brown does go out. Like he was
Yeah.
like pretty much like silenced, and then like right when AJ Brown goes out, he has that deep ball and he just becomes like he just turns on, man.
And
Well,
then
even
that one
and
hit-
Jigba's like that because when DK comes back, he's probably not going to be
Yeah, what's
anywhere near what he
irrelevant.
is. It's just
Yeah.
you're better when he's not there.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I don't
Yeah.
know.
Other than that, there was not many injuries. There was, like I said, it was a weird week. Like if you're a Kyle Murray owner,
Yeah,
they played a great game. He played a good game. It's just they had a fumble. He got listed as a fumble that wasn't even his fault.
yeah,
The running back didn't even open his arms
yeah.
to get the fumble. I don't know if when I was playing football, you don't go to receive a handoff with your arms closed.
Right.
I mean, I don't.
Hard thing
You're a
is
coach, Pepper. You
is
don't do that, right?
if the play call was not supposed to be a handoff,
Yeah, that's true.
that could also then it is his fault. So we just don't really know what was called. But I mean,
Yeah.
your team's very injured. I mean, Dak and CD are both hurt.
Yeah, and then the Cowboys game. Yeah,
Yeah, you have a
That-
third. It's like a crazy number. Like a third of your salary cap is on the bench this week.
Wonderful.
yup.
Is the CD is going to play, I think, right? At least
Yeah, it
that's
was
what
just the
seemed.
ACL joint or something. So it's
Yeah.
basically the same injury Jordan Mason's been playing with.
Yeah.
CD, like he landed on it pretty hard, and it's just like that injury is like if you land on it hard enough or whatever. Supposedly, I mean, it's gonna bother you, and like he did it, and then he like came out, and then he just put himself basically back in the game. I mean,
Yeah,
dude wants to win. He's just a competitive guy,
yeah.
but you could tell it was hurting him pretty.
Yeah, I
bad,
saw he took a
and
hit in the
then-
end zone on one of them, and it clearly didn't feel good.
Yeah,
But you can
and, like,
probably
he
get
was-
cortisol shots before the game for that, I would imagine.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying, and that's basically what they're saying about like 'cause Jordan Mason's been dealing with the same injury pretty much for the last 4 weeks, 3 weeks or something like that. So it's just if he wants to play or not, and it's just is it really worth it for the Cowboys to play him? I get it, like never want to give up,
Yeah.
but I don't know. And then
Yeah.
but anyways, other than that, yeah, it was a weird week in football in my sense. Some guys balled and some guys didn't. I don't know. But
Some
other than
guys,
that, yeah.
some guys should have gone for two on the late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so we'll move on to
Yeah.
our next category is what the F category. And I know Trapper's got one begging on his mind, so we'll let him roll it out.
By all means.
You don't take the Chiefs into overtime. You just don't do it. You go down, you can secure the win, or you take the loss. Go for two. What are we doing?
Yeah. That was a good game, though. I mean, the shitty thing, too, is like watching these Bucks games. These last, was it been 3 games without Mike Evans and Godwin, or 2 now? Or only, is it
It was
2?
2.5.
2, I think. Yeah.
2.5.
Okay. But it's so shitty because Baker Mayfield is playing super good football still.
Yeah. Even now.
I mean,
He's such
Yeah.
a competitor. He never gives up. He's just trying.
you guys like what? I don't. Let me look up their schedule real quick. But I
We
know
got
you guys.
the Niners this week.
Well, you guys lose to Baltimore by like 10. It was a close game against Atlanta, and then you guys take the Chiefs into overtime. So I mean,
Only team to beat the Lions this year.
yeah,
That's crazy.
I mean, I like the Bucks. I do. I think I really like Baker Mayfield. Honestly,
Yeah.
He's he's always fun to watch, dude. Especially this year.
You could tell he knew at the coin flip going into overtime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His reaction once they lost that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. The NFL,
They need to change the overtime
maybe.
I almost forget how it used to be.
It used to be just sudden death.
Right. It's just anything,
Now,
right? I can't remember.
Yeah, like even a field goal. But now, if like if the team that receives a ball after the coin flip, if they go down and they kick a field goal, it's not over. But
Right.
And the next team, the other team has a chance to come down and they can kick a field goal to tie it again, or a touchdown will win the game.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't hate it, but yeah, it is odd that it's different in playoffs. That's kind of weird.
I love college rules, honestly.
I've heard a lot of people ask for that. Ask for college playoff rules.
I'm all about it.
Or I'm sorry, overtime rules.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean,
yeah, I don't.
It's pretty. It makes it pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. Sure, it doesn't really make a difference to me.
Yeah, I didn't. There's a couple things like onside kicks should be like 4th and 20 or something like that.
Well, I
25.
hate all the new style special teams is stupid. I hate it all.
Yeah, it's a little
the new
strange.
kicking system is dumb. Having to announce your kicks. I don't know if you guys saw this. I can't remember which game it was in. But a team got a safety. I wish I could remember which game it was. And they tried to like onside it. Or, like,
yeah, it was the Cardinals game.
In the safety, you saw that? And they like skyballed
Was it the
it.
Cardinals game this week? Yeah, it was the team against the Cardinals. Who the Cardinals played? But I know that happened this week against the Cardinals. Who were they playing? Gosh damn it. Who the Cardinals play? Whoever played the Cardinals this week, they went for an onside kick. I think it's this game you were talking about, Garrett. And
yeah, it very well could be.
And every single player on the Cardinals.
They played the Bears.
All called for a fair catch. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was super weird. It was. I mean, I get it, but it was ugly.
They had 9 guys out there waving their hands up in the air for a fair catch, all at the same time.
What
it was pretty funny.
It was gross.
It's just they know the rule.
Yeah,
like, you can't get hit if you get a fair catch, and if you do, then true. It's a flag. It's your ball.
Yeah, the whole thing was weird.
Whatever.
I've never seen that though. I've never seen somebody try to. It wasn't an onside, but try to get force it back on a safety.
High enough that they thought they might be able to get there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah, NFL is changing a little bit. It's weird. My what the F moment. I don't really have a what the F moment this week. I don't. I have like maybe a couple like a. Well, kind of is the Cowboys trading for Mingo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High price too.
It's retarded, dude. Excuse my language, but Jesus, dude. A 4th round pick, man? Are you serious? Like, we gave up Amari Cooper for a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
The Chiefs got DeAndre Hopkins for a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
And we go get Mingo for a 4th round pick. Like, come on. Jerry Jones is losing it, man.
My assumption is the thought is Jonathan Mingo's a young guy on what's he on, a 2nd-year contract? It's got to be nothing. I mean, Jonathan Mingo hasn't done anything. So on probably a rookie or 2nd-year or whatever it is, a cheap contract, and a guy they must think highly of. They must have saw him in the draft and thought this is a person we want. It has to be, because why else would you go out of your way to go? They must
because
have seen him.
You said it at the beginning. It was a cheap contract, dude.
Right, but
Jerry
you wouldn't
Jones,
make all that. You wouldn't make all that effort if they didn't see him in scouting and say, okay, we really like Jonathan Mingo. Now, I don't like Jonathan Mingo, but they clearly must have.
But I mean, I get it's harder that he hasn't put up the numbers and things, but he hasn't been on a good team.
That's true. His team
not
sucks.
A good quarterback. And he hasn't been since he's been in the league. But I don't know. I just where we're at right now. That was a stupid thing that they did.
Well, and also, if you really want a receiver, I mean, Mike Williams was on the trade block the same day. I mean, why not go? They would have taken that deal. Like, why not give them the 4th and go get Mike Williams? Like, clearly a better talent, more proven guy, still young-ish. You'd get several years.
I feel like a lot of people would have took that deal for a 4th round.
That's
pick.
what I'm saying. You could have got pretty much anyone. I mean, Devontae Adams was a conditional 3rd. I mean, it's not like I don't know. It's a weird choice. I do get that the Cowboys don't have any other receiver really besides Dak. I mean, Jalen Tolbert hasn't really done anything, and I don't even actually know who's after that.
But we have guys. That's the problem. Is like we have guys that
We have
unless-
guys.
yeah, we got guys.
We got some guys.
We got guys.
But anyways, yeah, we got like Brandon Cooks. I get he's older.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple younger guys that really haven't got to show who they are yet. And then yeah, we have Tolbert and got CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing. Like I said, it wasn't. I don't believe in a good move.
No, I mean, I don't think so either. It's. I
It is
mean,
what it is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jerry will get what he deserves, I guess.
Jerry's just doing Jerry things.
Well, that was kind of
Right,
the funny
so-
thing when trade deadline was coming up. I was wondering. I was like, man, I hope the Chargers do something. And then I saw what the Cowboys did, and then I was like, actually, I'm okay with not doing anything. I changed my
I
mind.
wanted the Bucks to do something, but
Yeah.
it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Everyone that did get traded, I was like, no.
Yeah, the Steelers did all right. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean,
Picked up
I think Mike Williams for their team makes sense because I mean they were using like Calvin Austin in their second wide receiver role, who has very limited usage.
I didn't
Yeah.
love it though. I didn't love the Steelers pickup there. I
No.
mean, it's good to finish out this year, but I don't know long term that it's actually going to help them.
Well, I mean, I think they're focused on this year. I don't think they're thinking long term because
Yeah.
Russ is not a long term solution.
That's true.
So I assume their goal is we have a good enough defense. We feel like we can compete with anyone. If we can have an offense that's even, above average, maybe we can win big games, which I think is probably accurate because their defense is so good.
Yeah, but how many guys do you want on your team that are going to be a question mark for the next year? Like replacing one guy isn't that bad.
Yeah,
Replacing
I mean,
your whole
none, but the
offense.
Chargers are super young. But for the Steelers, when you have all these guys who are not going to last much longer, I probably would go all in right now.
That's fair.
Especially because I don't know how long Tomlin's going to be there. Like, you just don't know. So if I can
Yeah.
go win now, I probably would.
Absolutely.
I think the Lions made a great trade.
Yeah,
Um,
for Zadarius Smith.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's what they needed right now, and I think that was a great trade.
yeah.
They're a dangerous team already. Add to it.
Yeah, I mean, especially, when Aiden Hutchinson does come back, to have both of them
Yeah.
is obviously a big deal.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, it's already a good defense, and yeah, rich get richer.
Rich get richer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. The Chargers paid Joey Bosa $40 million to ride the bench all year, so that's exciting.
That is exciting. So before we move on to our next thing, Garrett, you got any what the F moments from this past week? Or
Well,
what's going on in the NFL?
man, do I have any? I mean, I'll tell you, it's kind of a weird one, but Kate Otten is basically carrying one of my fantasy teams. I have a team that is absolute poverty. It's 5-3. I'm the most fraudulent team in the league. I've faced the easiest schedule by far. I won a week with 91 points before. My team is horrible. And I was down by what was I down by? 20 something, and for sure dead in the water. And then Kate Otten just shows up and drops 21 and somehow makes me win a game I had no business winning. And he had Xavier Worthy. He went ahead and got me -1 against me. So I won by sheer miracle. And I mean, just Kate Otten's role, I think, because when we talked about a few weeks ago, all the different receivers, Jalen McMillan, Sterling Shepard, whoever else it is, Trey Palmer, I think. And we were kind of talking about which receiver would step up. None of them have done anything. It's just Kate
No.
Otten all day.
There was 4 receptions to a wide receiver in that entire game.
Yeah, because Rashad White and Bucky Irving are getting 6 receptions each, and then it's just Kate Otten, which I'm cool with. That helps me, but it's a weird offense, but it's working. So I mean, you can't really.
It's
say
not
anything about it.
working. We're not winning.
Yeah, but I mean, you play the Chiefs. I mean, you took them to OT. I mean, nobody else has even beat them. So I mean, I get what you're saying, but
Sorry, I don't mean to lash out. I'm just salty.
I get it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Falcons have a 2-game lead in
yeah.
that division,
Yeah.
and it's just poverty right now. I'm so upset.
Listen, I have to deal with those guys. They're in my division. We're not passing them. There's no way. So we're just vying for a wild card spot at this point.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
And then Garrett Wilson also, just to quickly talk about, I'm surprised at how little a role. I mean, I know he did really good last week. Devontae Adams did as well, but Garrett Wilson is still very much wide receiver 1 there. And I think
Timmy,
a lot of people
you have
thought-
Garrett Wilson, right?
I do.
In a league on your bench?
Oh,
No,
you
no
benched
more.
him. Pain. Yeah, I think.
No, this last week, yes, I had him on my bench
You did.
because, like I said, we were talking about Tua, and Well, the hard part is so my wide receivers, I could have played them at my flex. I'm just more of a guy that likes to play running backs on my flex. I
Yeah,
feel more comfortable. They usually get better points. You know, they're a little bit more of a safer bet.
sure.
But yeah, I had
I mean, Garrett Wilson's wide receiver 3, but I hear you.
yeah, I know. I've just been, dude, it's so hard to
I
be
think you're kind of
like,
overthinking it here. Like,
I'm very overthinking it. It's just hard to like think like I get like he's been really good with
Yeah.
Devontae back, and I was just like, maybe like
Yeah.
does he still put up the numbers? But gosh damn, dude, that Thursday game, that dude balled out. That dude is
Yeah.
good at football.
Well, and that offense is very much
So
like
yeah,
the Rams. It's just two guys. It's like the
Yeah.
Rams only throw to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Like the Jets seem exactly the same. Even Brees Hall's not getting a ton of the backfield. Tyler Conklin's lost his role completely. Lazard's on IR. Mike Williams gets sent away. It's just Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. So even if Aaron only throws 22 times, if they're both getting 11, who cares? You know, you get
Yeah.
plenty. So
No,
you should
absolutely.
feel good about either of them, honestly.
Yeah. So let's move into the next category. We're gonna go over like a quick waiver wire kind of deal right now.
Yeah.
We're definitely my opinion. I mean, it depends what kind of league you're in, but if you're probably in a 10-man or above, your waiver wire probably looks like crap.
If it's a competitive league at all, your
And
waiver
there's
wire
not
at
many
this
dudes
point
out
doesn't
there.
look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were gonna, we're just gonna quickly go over it, but there's not many guys you can really go out and get, I believe. There's a couple guys. I mean, like Demario Douglas is only 39% rostered in leagues for the Pats. He got more targets this week than he has, whatever.
That guy
like I
drives me
said,
crazy.
there's probably-
There's nobody more inconsistent. He has. Did you notice on his targets? It's either 3 or 9, nothing else. So he's useless, or 9 poverty targets, and
Dude,
never anything
It
else.
really is, dude.
Yeah.
Get this, Cincinnati. So we'll start from week 1. This
Yeah.
is crazy. Garrett just called this out. That's nuts.
Yeah,
So
I was
week
looking at it
one,
earlier
it goes
today.
It goes 3 targets. I don't know if did he even play week 2.
I don't think
Week
so.
2 he had 0 targets, 0 points. So I don't think he played week 2.
Yeah.
Week 3 he had 9 targets. Week 4 he had 3 targets. Week 5 he has 9. Week 6 he has 9. Week 7 he has 3. Week 8 he has 3, and then this last week, week 9,
You're
he has
dart
9.
throwing, hoping for 9, because you're either getting 3 or 9. So it's
It's hey, that's pretty consistent, man.
yeah, I guess. But I mean, even when he has 9, it's not like some super good score. I think he
No.
got over 20 once.
He had 10.5 this week.
Yeah.
With 9 targets.
That's so low for 9 times.
Like I said, yeah, I mean, it's just like I don't like. I mean, it's just a dart throw to pick up.
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson's out there, probably 30%, 38% of leagues. I'd rather pick him up, honestly. He's played decent. I know this week was weird because Puka, looks like Mike Tyson out there or something. Dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know what his deal is.
that was so stupid.
He's excited about the
dude.
Jake Paul fight. I don't know.
Bro, I get where he was coming from though. Like, if you watch that play, like he doesn't like, he doesn't know. Like the dude's trying to block him
Yeah.
on the Seahawks. The Seahawks defender's trying to block him, and I don't
Right.
think Puka knows the play was still going on. So yeah,
Right.
the dude's like getting up in his face. So Puka, this like you can't do this, but yeah, he threw a punch to the dude's head or whatever.
It's also just
And it wasn't
weird,
like
though. Like, why are you throwing a punch at a helmeted person? It's just an odd choice.
It was-
the helmet punches.
Yeah.
Cracked me up, dude.
It was
But
only
yeah,
kind of a punch. It wasn't even like a full punch.
yeah,
It
it
was more
was-
just like a.
It was like a kind of a punch, man. Then they
Yeah.
gets ejected for the entire game. Man.
Yeah, it was great news for me. I was playing in our league. I was playing against Puka, and I had Cup. So like, it's
Yeah.
the greatest
Oh,
thing that could
absolutely.
happen.
Absolutely.
But-
Absolutely. But yeah, Demarcus
Ugly.
Robinson, absolutely. He balled out. He's had 2 good weeks. I know. Well, he's had 2 good weeks technically for fantasy. Week 8, he only had 3 targets and 2 touchdowns. So that's not really what you want to see,
Yeah.
honestly, because I don't think they were probably trying to feed him the ball in the end zone. But he did also get 2 touchdowns this weekend with
Wonderful.
with
Bye, Timmy.
9.
See you, Timmy.
So,
Oh God.
And he's back.
I'm back.
Hello. It's okay. We lost you for a second.
Yeah, on the thing, whatever. We're good. But yeah, other than that, I don't really. There's not really anyone out there that sparks my eye. It's just, in my opinion, do your own research. If you really need a guide, do whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know Trapper's got
Go ahead.
an idea. I don't know.
Yeah, my
He's
only one. I mean, the waiver wire is terrible right now.
Yeah.
I saw Quentin Johnson. He's been playing a little bit better when he does play. I'm still riding out hope for Calvin Ridley, but at this point, I would trade Calvin Ridley for Quentin Johnson.
You got to get that, dude. You got to get that heartache out of your team,
Dude,
dude.
he has hurt me so bad for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's so good, and then he's
I
just
know.
like not good.
I hate that guy.
And then he's so good, and then he's not
He's
good.
so good at football. The problem is he never has the football.
Yeah. He runs real good routes, man. Watching him run
Yeah,
just on an empty field.
Crazy routes. Yeah, just-
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, no, it's pretty gross. For me, if you're in a deep league, my waiver pickups really are just tight ends this week. It's kind of where I've gone to. I really like Gesicki this week. He's rostered in like 30% of leagues. He's averages 7 targets with T. Higgins out. I think T. Higgins is going to sit again because he always does and doesn't even actually play any football.
he just wants to be traded.
Yeah, he just likes to hang out. I think he's a really fun in the locker room. Gesicki has taken all the role there when T. Higgins is out. Yoshivas doesn't get anything. Nobody really gets any attention. I think Gesicki this week, especially against the Ravens, they're one of the best matchups because they're constantly up, so you're constantly passing. I'd play Gesicki over most flexes this week, and if you're really desperate, I even think you could just I would dart throw Taysom Hill before a lot of these wide receivers out here because
Yeah,
he's going to get more of a
actually-
role. There's no Olave to throw to, so he's going to catch passes. On top of the fact that, I think he's played like actually 4 games this season. Half of them he scores touchdowns, so I'd rather dart throw on him than somebody like Demario Douglas and just hope for a touchdown.
The thing I like about Taysom is he's a red zone guy too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they
feed him
love
the
to
ball a
just
lot.
try to confuse you and give them the ball in the red zone.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in the red zone a whole lot, I don't think. But
Yeah.
if they get there,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
there you go.
thing. With the receivers all hurt like this, I genuinely think in the red zone they might just pull Carr and have Taysom run the offense when they're that close. So
Yeah.
your odds of
Like
getting
Garrett.
in are way higher. You lose me now?
What the F? Where'd Garrett go?
PPR.
That was weird.
That's weird. So on my screen, yeah, like you said, Timmy, nothing happens. I'm just chilling.
So,
I didn't go
next.
anywhere. Yeah, I guess
Who
Trappers,
knows?
you're going to go next? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But I'm here. I can hear
Just
you.
rotating the lineup. But yeah, so like we said, this is pretty much a dart throw from here on out in case and something starts to pop off. But so our next category here is we're gonna kind of go over the top 10. So we're gonna go over we're gonna go over all the positions. We're gonna go over the top 10 players in each position, and we're kind of gonna guess like, if we think. Oh, he's back. He's gone.
Is this
He's probably
guess
there.
going to be?
I don't know.
He's still there.
I'm just checking out,
Wait, is this going to be like projections for the rest of the season, or is this
Pretty
like,
much.
traditional?
So we're gonna think, and then maybe at the end of this, where some guys you might think might drop into the top 10 position, but we're
Okay.
gonna start off quarterbacks here. So with quarterbacks, and I'm just going off the sleeper app, and I think they're kind of updating their things because there's some of these guys that they say they're 5, but they're actually 7, and things like that. But I'm just gonna go down the line. So we got Lamar Jackson at number 1, Baker Mayfield 2, Joe Burrow 3, Josh Allen 4, Jaden Daniels at 5, Jalen Hurts at 6, Kirk O'Bangs at 7. We got Geno Smith at 8, Sam Darnold at 9, and Kyler Murray at 10. So those are the top 10 quarterbacks as of now for this season. I don't see Lamar Jackson leaving the top 3, and maybe not even the top 1.
Yeah, I don't see it.
The dude is putting up crazy numbers. He's looking great. I honestly think he's a great MVP candidate for this year.
Yeah.
He's
It's
unstoppable.
It's made it so much easier for him when they have to respect the run like they do now.
Yeah.
You drafted him, and I know Trapper has him. This dude is put up miracle numbers every week for you, dude. I mean, the
Yeah.
lowest that he's scored all year for fantasy wise is he's scored 19.3 week 2. But other than that, he's got 240 plus games, a couple of close games to 30. Yeah, like I said, I just don't see him. The Ravens are awesome. They look great. They're not moving anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't really.
They just picked up Deontay Johnson too.
Hell yeah.
There's also
I mean,
like
it's
the
just,
added benefit, which is kind of weird. The same one that Joe Burrow has is their defense is not good. Like the Ravens' defense has actually been very poor, which sounds like a negative, but it's good because Lamar's always on the field.
Their run defense is good.
It is, but because teams constantly score on the Ravens, Lamar's constantly back out there, and they're never in the games. Like
Just
a lot
run
of
the
times, like the Chiefs, not necessarily this year, but like last year, they would kill a team. Or the Lions are a great example, where Jared Goff will kill the team at the first, but then they don't even need to pass, so nothing happens. Amon-Ra had a week, I think 2 weeks ago, where he only had one catch for a touchdown, and then he's kind of just around because there's no
Yeah,
reason
he's had a couple.
to even go back to him. You're winning by 42.
Sun God's had a couple weird weeks like that.
Their team's just way better than the other teams, so it's just not close.
Oh,
So it's not
yeah,
competitive. Whereas the
absolutely.
Ravens' defense is not like that, so it's always competitive. So Lamar's constantly scoring points.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah. So for these other guys, Jalen Hurts sneaking here at number 6.
I don't know if that
I-
lasts.
To drop out of the top 10 for the rest of the year, their schedule for against fantasy points against quarterbacks, they got a pretty easy schedule. It's very green. It looks pretty good.
He does have 6 rushing touchdowns last 3 weeks, though. That's like a really high.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can maintain something like that, but I still think he's top 10. I don't know about where he's at, though. It might drop a little.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
another one that they just are respecting the run a lot more
Yeah.
with Saquon. That
Of course.
it's open for him.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
And
his
it
job.
depends
as a
if
quarterback
AJ Brown
easier.
can stay healthy. He's definitely staying in the top 10.
Yeah.
All for the rest of
But
the season.
even when AJ Brown's out, I mean,
That's true.
Smith has stepped up. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think Goddard's coming back, right? Which, actually
Should
plays a
be.
pretty big role in their offense.
And Saquon's pretty good at catching the ball. So
Yeah. That's what's been nice. Like, as a person who has Saquon, it's nice. His passing role has been surprisingly good. Because, like, even Derrick Henry, don't get me wrong, he's, like, I think RB1. But Derrick Henry doesn't really get any passes. He's just so dominant on the ground, it doesn't matter. But it's nice when you have
you
the
don't need to
floor
throw the
in
ball.
case.
And they got Justice Hill. Justice Hill's very good out of the backfield catching the ball.
Saquon is just good at football. He hurdled someone backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that play is
Ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
I'm great. I'm very excited to see what happens this week against the Cowboys. It's gonna be a great game. So one of the guys I think that's not gonna stick around, They got Geno Smith here at 8.
Yeah.
Maybe with DK coming back, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great fantasy quarterback, and I wouldn't worry about getting rid of him. I just don't know if he finishes in the top 10 for the rest of the year. They just don't. They started off real hot. They look great. He looked great. He's like I said, he still looks good, but I just don't think the numbers stay up. I think but I think Bo Nix sneaks in, and I think Geno Smith doesn't finish with the top 10. Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold's hard one. I think Sam Darnold probably could be because they just throw the ball so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then same with Kirko.
Well, and some of these guys, is it counting their bye weeks? Because, like, Geno's on his bye week now, so he could very well fall just because of that, because it's going to count as a 0, an overall tallied points.
Right.
But Geno Smith's
Yeah,
also the leading passer in the NFL. Nobody has more passing yards than he does.
No, they don't. It's and it's just stats. It's just moving up and down.
Yeah.
But yeah, in my opinion, I believe that those guys or whatever. But I don't know.
Who would you pick as
What, Garrett, what are you
QB1
thinking?
for, like, rest of season?
Lamar.
Lamar.
Absolutely. But yeah, that's just my opinion on some of these guys. Garrett, what are you thinking here?
I actually, listen, I personally think QB1 rest of season is probably Jaden Daniels. I understand
Oh.
Lamar's great. I just think Jaden Daniels, I think, is even more utilized in the red zone. I think Jaden Daniels, I like the running backs there. I like B-Rob, I like Eckler, but none of them are Derrick Henry because no one is. So it's not quite commanding that kind of role. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders have more momentum than I think they've ever had. They have deep threats. I really like his involvement in the offense. I just think he constantly is scoring points and has looked good every week. I also like his matchups kind of across the board. So I just really like Jaden Daniels all around to be number one for progress season, but Lamar would be the other one.
I like Scary Terry out of that too.
Yeah.
Scary Terry. I mean, Josh Allen's up there too, man, and they've
he doesn't get the yards though. He's just a rushing TD guy. He doesn't rush for yards. He looks a little. I'll be honest. I have him on my team. He looks a little slow. He looks a little slower.
You're a little slower, but still, dude. Every time I'm watching the games, like he just does some crap. Sometimes he's running like 12-yard, 13-yard touchdown runs, and like he's diving over the end zone. He's jumping over these dudes. I'm like, gosh, damn, dude. I do not want to play against him.
Yeah, no, it's surprising, and he has a lot of games where. Like, because I'm watching the score and it's not good. Like, I'm getting to the third quarter and I'm like, man, I've really done nothing. But every fourth quarter, he constantly ramps up the points and starts turning it up, which is nice to have a guy who gets better as the game progresses.
Yeah, no. It's crazy.
But yeah, in terms of guys sneaking into the top 10, I don't really know. I mean, I can tell you the biggest disappointment is CJ Stroud. I don't like anything that he's doing right now. I know Nico Collins is coming back, but I still don't think that guy itches the top 10.
Do you think? What do you guys think on Patrick Mahomes? Does he finish the year stronger than he has started?
Yes, stronger.
Fantasy wise,
it'll be stronger, yes, but I still don't love it.
Yeah,
D-Hop will help. D-Hop actually looked really good. It gives him a threat. It also just takes pressure off Kelsey.
It also hurt my feelings.
Why hurt your feelings?
He still won that game.
He looked great against the Bucs.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he looked really good, and I do think he'll look better as the season goes. But I just don't think the passing volume is quite there to warrant top 10 or anything like that.
If you look at it, like against the Bucs, they ran the ball over and over and over, and it was just working. Like, why even make him throw the ball when he doesn't have to?
And it's working with Kareem Hunt, who I actually don't think is a very good running back.
I would agree.
When Pacheco comes back, assuming he does, I think he's a far better guy. I think they'll have more success there.
Okay, here's a question for you. Do you think they're going to split like they used to, or is it going to be more heavily towards Pacheco?
I think it'll be 70-30 Pacheco.
I would agree with that.
Personally.
Yeah.
When I watch Kareem Hunt play, it just looks like a team that's really good, and he kind of just walks behind it. I don't see an impressive runner when I watch him do
his
anything.
Longest run of the year was against the Bucs last Monday.
Yeah.
And it was 15 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, he just doesn't have any breakaway speed. He doesn't really break any tackles.
He's a tough runner through the middle, but that's he'll get you a 3.
He looks like Ramondre Stevenson to me.
Yeah.
He can run forward kind of hard, but that's about
Ramondre's better though.
Ramondre is better, but I'm just that prototype of that kind of player.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I agree. Let's move on to running backs here. So as of now, the number one running back is Derrick Henry on the year.
Yep.
And then you got Alvin Kamara, and then you got Saquon, Bijan. And you got Jamar Gibbs, Kyron, Breece Hall, Achane, Chuba Hubbard, and James Cook. And then you got Kenneth Walker sitting on 11. In my opinion, I see Devon Achane, if they still keeps playing like they have, and he's getting the ball like he has been getting. I definitely see Devon Achane finishing. I could see him top 3 maybe. I don't see Derrick Henry leaving in the top 3. I see Saquon probably finishing as number 1.
It's possible. I don't know. I kind of think it'll be Achane also. He has the best matchups. And the passing volume is crazy.
The passing volume is crazy, man. He's gotten, since Tua's been back the last 2 weeks, he's got 8 targets, 6 receptions both weeks. And he doesn't really, his attempts aren't much, honestly. I mean, the last 2 weeks to two back, it's 10 and 12 attempts, which isn't like insane for a starting running back. But
Yeah.
I know that Mostert's there. Mostert's still a good running back. And the problem with HN is he's just not like a. I mean, he's not built to be like constantly getting the ball.
Yeah, but they say that about Kyron too, and Kyron always gets the ball. They always say he's undersized, he's going to get hurt. The guy never gets hurt. Plays every down.
He got hurt last year.
But he still play. I mean, he just plays through everything. I don't know. I just don't see.
Yeah.
He doesn't go
This
down
year,
the way I
everyone-
think he will, and he just every down.
Like it's crazy, dude. It's so funny. Like within the fantasy world, like everyone's like, oh, you might want to like think about trading Kyron or like
Yeah.
taking up their backup or whatever because like, and it wasn't because he was doing horrible. He's just
No.
he's getting 100 touches a game, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone's just worried. They're like, he's gonna break sometime, and I get it. Like I mean, he's constantly touching the ball during the game.
Yeah. Mark
you
every
think it's
week
gonna
would send me
happen?
this like a trade, and he's like, "Hey, should I send this to this?" I'm like, "No, stop trying to trade away Kyron." Every week he would try to trade somebody. I'm like, and he'd send it for something terrible. I'm like, "Don't give them Kyron. Just
Yeah, he
chill."
offered it to
Yeah,
me
dude,
like
Kyron-
3 times, and I denied it 3 times, and I
Just
regret it
Yeah.
every day.
Right. I was telling him, I was like, "Don't send him away. Just chill. Like you're fine."
Yeah. Man, it's hard to tell. I don't know if Brees Hall finishes top 10. Maybe
I think he'll
top
be top
12?
10. Top 10. I
think
think
so?
he will. I think he'll be top 10. I also have a different perspective than you on the top 5 as well. I think Derrick Henry will finish number 1. No questions about it. I think either HN, if he continues as he is with the receiving, then he and Bijan will go 2 and 3. I don't know what order. 4 will be Saquon. And
You don't think Saquon's top 3?
I think that HN and Bijan will pass him.
It's hard because there's so many good running backs. Like top 3
There
caliber is like
is.
7 guys.
It's just Saquon's is so, I mean, unstoppable. Like we said, like he's so great at catching the ball.
Yeah.
It's also
And-
so hard to count out Alvin Kamara out of that.
I hate Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara, dude. He drives
Dude,
me
it's
crazy.
Dude,
So many receptions.
I think the only thing stopping Alvin Kamara from finishing top 10, top 5, whatever, top 3 is if he gets hurt because he gets. I mean, his attempts a game at just running the ball are insane, and his targets a game they got to be the most in the NFL.
I hate him, dude. I hate him. But I don't have a receiver who gets that many targets. I mean, it's
He's
so
a-
frustrating.
And I was saying this in the draft, dude, when people were drafting him. Like, I was like, I don't hate it, dude. The dude's a PPR freak, man.
I didn't draft him anywhere.
he's gonna
I said he's old. He's on the Saints. I don't want any part of it. I didn't get him anywhere.
Exactly. I did that same thing.
I drafted Rashad White in
Yeah.
3 leagues. I'm a fucking idiot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you traded him to me this week.
Yeah.
for
Hey, I was high on
Last-
Rashad White too, and I think a lot of people were too.
He was RB4 last year, and now he's just poverty.
Yeah.
Well, he's not poverty. He's actually
He's
also-
really
also
RB4. He was a sneaky RB4.
I
which
know.
is-
But he's
Like,
he's
everyone
another one
talks
that
about
relies completely on the receiving of it.
Yeah. The funny thing is he's
Like,
actually been running the ball better now.
That's true.
Like, but now it's just the problem. The problem isn't whether or not he's good. It's just they just insist on running a split backfield, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, absolutely.
But I
Dude,
like
there's-
Bucky Irving a
I do too.
lot, so I mean I get it.
Yeah, I do. I just wish they'd pick one. Just move
It's-
on.
And tell me. Don't tell anybody else.
Yeah.
Let me get him first.
Yeah. Listen, I have Jahmyr Gibbs, and it drives me crazy because last week he didn't even play till the second quarter. Like he didn't touch the field once. And
And he's,
it doesn't
he's
matter
top 5.
because he's constantly good. But it's just funny because if Montgomery didn't exist, that's always the meme. Like it was Gibbs or Montgomery if the other didn't exist, and it's just Barry Sanders. They're just constantly having to deal with the other existing.
No, absolutely, dude. As we're talking about this, I know Chuba Hubbard has been absolutely amazing. I'm a Chuba Hubbard owner, but I'm also freaked out right now. Jonathan Brooks is back. He's off the PUP list. They never made it clear yet that he will play. I just don't see. I can see it going both ways for the Panthers. Clearly, they've won 1 game. They probably end the season maybe winning 3.
They
Oh,
won
they won
two.
2. Oh, they
Yeah.
won 2. I forgot about this weekend.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. But yeah, there's just nothing like. What do they? They don't have to worry about anything. Like, I think it'd be smart for them to get Jonathan Brooks in, let him get some reps. I don't think Chuba has played great.
Yeah.
So I don't think Chuba's gonna like lose much, but I don't think he finishes a top 10 running back.
No, I would be stunned.
Yeah. And then another guy like who's became very touchdown dependent in the last couple of weeks. Is I don't think James Cook finishes the top 10. But like you said, there's so many good running backs. Like you got Kenneth Walker outside the top 10. You got Josh Jacobs. You got J.K. Dobbins, Joe Mixon, James Conner.
I think Mixon could be top 5 end of year. The whole offense for the Texans is ran through him. He gets passing volume. He scores constantly.
He looks good.
I forgot about him, honestly.
I like Mixon a lot. And and I said last week that I would maybe consider trading away James Cook. Not that he's not good. I still think he's top 15. But I just think, where he's at right now, if you could pivot to one of those other guys, I would probably.
Well, that Davis rookie looks really good.
Dude, I played in the 14-man league. We had a guy play against us, and he put in Ray Davis, who was projected like 2 points in his RB2 slot because he had like injuries. And I was like, oh, what an idiot. And then he catches like a 70-yard pass. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing.
He does look good.
It's just so frustrating.
Looks amazing. But and then like I said, there's another like Kenneth Walker. I mean, the dude gets a lot of he constantly is getting the ball, and they're constantly throwing him the ball.
Passing volume is new too. Last year, Charbonnet took all of his passing, so K9 was very, reduced. He was RB2,
right? And
now he gets everything.
And he was their goal line guy, and he was kind of in the same boat of like a touchdown, whatever. And then you got Josh Jacobs, man. The dude that they run the ball a lot, and they only run the ball to Josh Jacobs.
And Josh Jacobs recently has started getting touchdowns, but beginning of the year he was averaging so many yards, but wasn't getting in the end zone. Now he's getting in the end zone, and he's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, Breece Hall. I don't know if he finishes top 10.
I mean, I just think that's such a pass-heavy offense because Aaron wants to throw constantly, which I like, but. Breece Hall kind of takes a little bit of a backseat, and Braylon Allen has taken a bit of a role there. He actually does play. So, Breece Hall's probably borderline.
And if borderline. I would say if he does finish top 10, I think it's high, like 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah. I still wouldn't trade him. He's obviously great, but...
No, absolutely not. But, I mean, there's so many guys out here. I mean, James Conner, clearly that's how... They just run the ball so this week, dude. He ran the ball so good this week, and he's looked pretty good all season, honestly. And they run that offense runs so great around him.
I can't believe he's still in. James Conner's never played a full season ever, and just every week you're like, when's this end? When do you get hurt? And we saw a little bit of it last week. He should have had over 20, but got pulled out for a concussion scare. So I think DeMarcado got a touchdown, and so did Trey Benson. So he kind of got robbed a little bit there because his game should have been better than it was.
I got
absolutely. Anyways, let's move on to wide receivers now. This one, running backs and wide receivers, this is gonna be hard, man. Jamar Chase at 1.
Yep.
You got JJ at 2, which is kind of I feel like a little sneaky because he's still playing great.
It is not sneaky. The guy averages 21 points. There's nothing sneaky about it. That guy just is insane.
I don't know how you think.
I guess. Well, no, it's not sneaky. I'm just saying he's not everyone's not talking about him like they usually do. I feel like
I play the guy. It seems like every week somehow.
And I feel like maybe it just might be it just must be everyone's just oh, it's JJ. He's just gonna ball out.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And he does every week constantly.
He's the best wide receiver in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you got number 3, you got Garrett Wilson. 4, CeeDee Lamb. Number 5, Drake's London. We can't pick this one, but number 6, Chris Godwin. Number 7, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Don't start crying there, Shop. And number 8, we got Scary Terry McLaurin. And then number 9, we got Zay Flowers. And number 10, we got Jaden Reed. And then we got Brian Thomas Jr. sitting at 11. And Darnell Mooney sitting at 12.
Reed is 10?
Yes, because he had 2 games over 30. He's basically living and dying by boom bust.
Okay, that's gone. He's dead.
Here's the thing. I thought maybe that too. He has the best schedule in the NFL for a receiver.
I don't care. His quarterback looked terrible last week.
Yeah, they let him play. I don't think Jordan Love was feeling healthy.
I don't think so either. I think Jaden Reed actually. I don't know about top 10, but I think he's going to be surprisingly good rest of season.
Yeah. Well.
No. But other than we'll start from the top here. Jamar Chase number 1, JJ 2, Garrett Wilson 3. I hope Garrett Wilson stays at 3.
I don't think he will. Really I think he ends around 7.
I would agree with that, yeah.
I could agree with that. It's just, like I said.
He's at 3 because he just had a 30-point game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns. He had 10
And hasn't hit his
targets.
bye week yet, just to be clear.
Yeah, he's 2 more games and they hit their bye week.
Yeah.
So he's going to drop. I still like Garrett Wilson a lot. Timmy, you should probably start him.
Yeah, I recommend. Yeah, probably not benching him
started.
for
I traded
Austin Eckler.
I traded
you
Tua,
have.
so or not Tua. I traded Tyreek.
Oh yeah. You got K9 out of it, yeah.
I took K9.
Yeah.
Now CeeDee Lamb.
So here's the thing. Before Dak got hurt, I actually was picking CD as number 1. I thought he was going to end as the number 1 slot.
Yeah.
Now, I still think he probably is top 5, even with Cooper Rush. Like the data from when he played with Cooper Rush, he was still a top 5 guy.
I'm going to put him at 5.
That's kind of where I'm at. It's just probably 5. I think J.J. is his number 1 rest of season.
Oh yeah, I agree.
JJ. Yeah, him or Jamar Chase, man.
Jamar Chase's schedule kind of sucks, but he's probably 2.
Yeah, I get that. Drake London at 5. See, that's another one. That's kind of like the Garrett Wilson boat. I mean, I don't know how serious this hip injury is, and I hope, because I am an owner of him. He was limited today in practice.
Yeah.
He wasn't struggling very much after he went out with it. I was kind of surprised that he did this. Like, he went out and he never came back in.
Yeah.
Luckily, he did score a touchdown and had a couple receptions. He finished with like 10 points, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he wasn't a complete bust for you this week. I don't know. I think he could stay with top 10. He has looked great, and I'm a big Drake London guy. I really like Drake London. I was pretty excited that that Kirko went there, because Drake London, I feel like, is one of the most athletic players in the league.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that he's having the year that he deserves. And
Well, it's a lot easier to catch a pass from Kirko than Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Taylor Heineke.
Yeah. But that should be good proof that Jay Jettis truly is the best receiver in the league, because that guy was averaging 20 with the Pastronaut.
It's quarterback proof.
It doesn't matter. He could have anyone throwing. Like, just anybody suited up, he's getting over 20.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. Number 6 here. We're just surprised he's still there. I mean, he was just having a great year.
He was killing. Yeah, he was killing
it.
Love great. You, Godwin.
It sucks, man. So there's definitely gonna be some changing around. We got the Sun gone at 7.
I think he moves up.
I don't know if he moves up a lot.
It depends if
like what Garrett's saying.
Competitive, yeah.
Like they don't throw. They don't have to throw the ball.
No, there's so many mouths to feed.
And they run the ball so well. Like when you if you really watch a Lions game, they've come to the point, I think, where they were like this last week against Green Bay. It was a whole drive was pretty much Monty, and the whole drive was Gibbs. Like, they weren't switching on out. They were just one of them would play one drive and one would play the other drive. And because they're fresh.
Yeah. What's weird though is the style of offense changes also. Montgomery, it's halfback dives, brutalizing the line. Gibbs, they're throwing play action passes. Like, the offense completely changes. Even Amon-Ra gets way more usage when Gibbs is in, because when Montgomery's in, he's almost not even running routes. He's just blocking. So if you have any pass catchers on the Lions, you're almost hoping Gibbs is in, because that's when they're truly passing, which is weird.
It's been a weird year for Lions. I feel like their wideouts. I mean, Sam Laporta is not having the best year.
No.
Again, I don't think it's because he's not doing anything. I think it's just that they don't need to throw it.
Yeah. But I will say, even when they were throwing, I mean, they were insistent on throwing the ball to Jameson Williams 9 times a game. They just don't want to throw to Laporta for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jared Goss is betting on the side or something, but he does not want to throw to Laporta.
He's got the under, bro.
Yeah. He's like, I'm playing you in fantasy, dog. You're getting 0 targets today.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're getting nothing.
You're getting nothing.
Yeah.
I think St. Brown stays out of. Man, I don't know. Ooh.
He's in top 10.
See, that's a hard one, because I could see a top 10. No, absolutely. I just don't know if within the top 5. I could see, because CeeDee Lamb's so much up in the air. I know Cooper Rush, and Cooper Rush is not a horrible backup.
I've seen so many Cowboys fans saying they prefer Cooper Rush.
I want to say that.
I'm not even making a joke. I keep seeing it. I don't know. They because Cooper Rush as a starter is 5-1. So they're all
Yeah, but
full
when
believers of this guy. I'm not saying I am. I don't care. But
when
it's-
that did happen and he had to come in for Dak, our schedule, luckily when Dak got hurt, our schedule 2 or 3 years ago, it wasn't very good
Yeah.
on who we had to play.
your schedule rest of the season
but-
isn't terrible. Next week's not great, but the rest of it's not bad.
Yeah. But the thing too is like and I'm not saying that it's hard to get a W in NFL period. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who you play. I mean, clearly look at what the Saints and the Panthers this week.
Yeah.
I mean, the Saints look like crap, but anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I could see. You can't get the Lions out, man. They're such a good team. So I could see St. Brown finishing top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah.
And some of these guys drop in like Garrett Wilson. Hopefully not. And Drake London and things like that.
I think Garrett Wilson probably stays top 10, to be honest. I just think they pass
Yeah, I
so
hope
much.
so.
And the Jets defense has not looked quite the same, so they're passing constantly.
Right. And number 8 we got here, Scary Terry. I love that he's balling out, man. I think Terry
Yeah.
McLaurin's a great wide receiver.
I do
And
not think
I've
he stays there.
I've been making trades to get him, man.
I like him, but he is very deep ball dependent. He doesn't get a lot
Yeah,
of intermediate stuff.
That's true.
And the
That's
fact
true.
that Malik Neighbors is not in top 10, I don't think there's any percent chance that Malik Neighbors doesn't pass him.
Well, the crappy part too, man. You got people like out of the top 10 that like Nico Collins is out of the top 10. He's sitting at 16.
Yeah. I think if you just count from when he starts playing, he's top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he comes back and everything's looking, I mean, like CJ Stroud hasn't looked,
Well, it's weird
They
too.
haven't
This
looked
week's a weird one
awesome.
because they said he's set to return and he's not practicing. So I'm a little confused.
I think he's
going
gonna come back after the bye week.
But it's just
Whatever,
odd because the
whatever
whole
story.
thing was always talking about this week. They're like, yeah, he's healthy, he's good to go. And
If he comes out of the bye week, that's week 14. That's crazy. I don't know.
yeah, I
about
mean,
that.
so I'm
No
a little
way he
confused.
waits.
No.
No.
So that's what I'm confused about. Like, why is he not? Because they keep saying he's at no setbacks, he's good to go, and then every day rolls by and he's not practicing. So it's just when are you playing? I hope he doesn't play. I'm playing him in 2 leagues, but yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. And then DK Metcalf's sitting outside there too.
Yeah.
And then Neighbors is at 13. I don't know how Neighbors is not top 10. That's
Well, he's at his
crazy.
bye week. That's a big part of it. DK even
he
being
was
that
injured.
high is kind of crazy because DK's been out. So
Malik Neighbors was out too.
yeah, so I mean these
That's
are
true. He
guys
was
who
out
actual
with
points
concussion.
per game are higher. It's just totality.
It's yeah. I just like Malik Neighbors is a guy that I would love to have on my team just for the fact that he gets so many targets a
insane
game.
amount of targets. And Daniel Jones has
it's
looked
insane.
better. He's I don't want him, but play the Panthers this week. So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I know Panthers
a
are
good
coming off riding high, beating the Saints, but I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Well,
Yeah.
tight ends are dead to me, so I don't want to do them.
I'm loving tight ends lately. It's been coming up aces for me.
So yeah, tight ends, man, is weird. You don't really know who's gonna finish top 10, in my opinion. I mean, I think Brock Bowers is at 1 right now, and I think he stays at 1. George Kittle's at 2. He's looking great
I think George Kittle's one.
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because of the shit going on with the Raiders. I could see that.
Yeah,
Kate Otten, Baker Mayfield's making him.
I think he drops a little bit, but I think he stays top 10.
He's looking like freaking Randy Moss out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's hard. You got Trey McBride at 4, Travis Kelce at 5, Tucker Kraft at 6, Kyle Pitts at 7, 8 is Hunter Henry, and 9 is Cole Kmet, and 10 is Dalton Kincaid, man. It is so weird. And then you got Mark Andrews sitting at 11.
I think Evan Ingram comes in where Cole Kmet is, and I think the rest of it stays about the same.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Hawk?
I like Hawkinson. He could actually sneak in there. It's just I just want to see the volume because has he ever played with Sam Darnold?
I don't think so.
No.
I believe that he'll still be heavily used. I would like to just see it. I know last week doesn't really count. It's first week back. That's normal.
I can see like Jake Ferguson from the Cowboys sneaking in there, I think.
I have not loved the way he's been looking. I actually traded him away in a league.
Did you?
Yeah.
He's been getting more targets.
I did
again,
it 2
and
weeks
with
ago for Kate
Rush,
Otten. I
think
look
he
like I
might-
am a genius. I didn't know it would be this
You
good,
are.
but I
That
didn't
looks
know at the
amazing.
time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I don't. There's some of these dudes like I don't think Cole Kmet finishes 10 and Dalton Kincaid or Cole Kmet stays within the top 10. Neither does Dalton Kincaid.
Cole Kmet just drops
my opinion.
25 whenever I play against him. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. I hate that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and then kickers we got. I'm just kidding.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Brendan Aubrey, #1 kicker for us here.
It's true. He could be.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, that's just within the top 10 players of each position, and like I said, it really doesn't mean much. Most of those guys, if they're on your team, they're gonna ball out.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's benching him except for Timmy, so there's no reason to even consider it for any team. You know.
Hey man,
I get it. Chase Brown was enticing, but I just
I messed up, man. I messed up. So we're just gonna quick go to the stardom sit-ins this week. I don't really have. Man, it's hard with the sit-ins, but my stardom this week for one guy that I think is gonna have a good week this week is gonna be Tyron Tracy, the running back for the Giants.
Yeah.
They're playing the Carolina Panthers, 32nd worst team in the league against the run, worst team in the league pretty much for anything.
They've never had a game where they didn't give up a rushing touchdown, like not one. Yep. There's been a rushing touchdown against them, at least one, I should say. There's been several, and many of them.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Even Chuba Hubbard against them.
Yeah,
it's a good start.
Yeah,
in my opinion, and I'm also starting Garrett Wilson.
Hey, I'm
glad to hear that.
Yeah. They're playing the Cardinals.
I'm glad to hear that. Are we just throwing those out? Hey guys, I don't want to stun you, but I'm starting Saquon this week.
Whoa, dude! Crazy.
Is that a tough choice to start the wide receiver 3?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I traded Tyreek. I trusted Tyreek too much over him, and he had 30 points on my bench, and I literally lost by like 10 points because Kyler Murray had 4 points. Don't play Kyler Murray. There you go. Screw it.
My start for this week is Chase Brown.
Yeah.
He has looked pretty good lately.
Yeah. I didn't really have a sit-em, but if I was going to do one, not a whole lot of people are probably planning on starting him, but Deontay Johnson, I just don't think he has had enough time with the Ravens.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to be good. He's going to be good. He's going to get a few looks, but
Zay
I
Flowers
think he
looks
just
so
needs...
good. Zay Flowers looks so good this last week, dude.
Oh, it's cool, Timmy. You can talk.
I'm just saying, Zay Flowers looked pretty good.
That's enough out of you, Trevor.
Yeah, you shut up now.
Yeah, it's enough. Yeah, like I said, I'm big on if you don't have, a tight end who's a Travis Kelce, a Brock Bowers. If you just have a normal middle of the road guy, like you're starting Jake Ferguson every week, I would start Gesicki 100%. He's only 30%.
If you're lucky enough to pick him up.
He's only rostered in 30%. I mean, he's there in most of them. I would start him 100%. I think he easily gets 15 points tomorrow. I think he's just going to be heavily used, especially against the Ravens with T. Higgins
out. I hope so. I get to see the Giddy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool, Timmy. Your turn to talk.
I also think
Shut up.
Tough one is I can't start Marvin Harrison. I just can't trust it. I get that he can get over 20, and he's had games where he looks good. I just can't trust him. Kyler Murray seems to have no interest in throwing him the ball on a consistent basis. You see Greg Dortch out-target him half the time. I just not really interested. He's open all the time, which is nice. But
it's been such a weird situation this year for him because, I would be a couple weeks ago, I'd be like, dude, he's one of those dudes you have to start. I'm saying this even though I bench Garrett Wilson, but it lost me the game. But you start your studs and things. But I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is in that talk where he's like, no, you're starting your studs.
No.
Well, his quarterback can't see over the line to find him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, dude. I'm not joking, dude. Kyler Murray literally had 4 points this last week.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help when the red zone touches are handoffs to Trey McBride. That's not what I want to see.
That was sweet. I do have Trey McBride.
It's not sweet.
And there was
disgusting.
I don't think Trey McBride's had a passing touchdown this year. So, and I know
that's a weird one.
They did have one play where it was a weird rollout play or whatever. Trey McBride was wide open in the end zone. All you do, Kyler literally just could have thrown it above the line or whatever. Trey McBride would have caught it. Anyone would have caught the ball.
Yeah.
And it was.
Also, don't fall for the Cortland Sutton nonsense. I know he's done good the past 2 weeks. Don't fall for this. This guy, I played him 1 week and he got me 0. Do not do it. Don't fall for it.
I almost picked him up this week.
Don't do it. It's bait. He knows what he's doing. I hate it. Don't play Cortland Sutton.
Dude, it can't be worse than Calvin Ridley.
Oh, but it can.
Yeah.
But it can.
Do you start him up? Who do you start? Calvin Ridley or Cortland Sutton?
Good question.
God.
I personally hate Calvin Ridley at this point, so I would go Cortland Sutton.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
normally
probably
player for player, I would start Ridley most of the time, but I actually the Chargers defense is actually kind of a problem. Right? I wouldn't start him against that. I don't think the Titans are going to have much success.
Should be a good week.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Do you start D-Hop against PS2 this week?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna stick with my word. You just don't play players that are playing against PS2. I mean, the good thing for D-Hop, I guess, is like the Chiefs are like so good at this, like spreading around the ball and things like that. But
Yeah,
I think they're just gonna shut him down.
like
but
if you have
I
PS2
got-
and Khalil Shakir, you going Khalil Shakir? Or I'm sorry, DeAndre Hopkins, not PS2.
yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah, maybe. That's a hard one, Garrett.
I know.
Good one.
It's a tough
I
one
don't
because
know.
DeAndre Hopkins is who you'd normally start, but Khalil Shakir has commanded good targets every game. He's like truly a sneaky guy where he really has been pretty consistent. He gets like over 10 points almost every week, but not very
Right.
exciting. He's not going to blow up.
Yeah, man. I don't. That's a rough one.
Yeah,
And it's whatever your heart desires, I guess.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, it was a good pod. I'm glad we went over the top 10. And I'm excited to see who like finishes within the top 10 and who drops.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of them like the tight ends. I don't think gonna change much. The running backs, I'm kind of curious. It's gonna be a little weird. I don't know if Alvin like these things, man. Like I don't know if Alvin Kamara keeps it up. I don't see why not. They give him all the money this year and shit.
We
like
didn't even
that.
talk
You know,
about
just give him the
CMC.
ball. But I don't. Oh shoot! I forgot, dude.
Like, what about him? Like, is he there? What's his deal?
We'll see, man. I don't know. If he comes back, I just don't see like him not coming back and this not being himself. I mean, he's CMC.
Yeah,
I don't know if he finishes top. I don't know if he finishes one. I mean, there's a good possibility he could.
I don't know. I mean, in total points, it's like impossible. But in terms of like rest of season, can he be one? I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see it. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be great. You do wonder, is Garendo going to have a role? Like, is he going to be the full 100% of the time, or are they going to kind of slow play it, keep him healthy for playoffs? To me, that would determine how good I felt about it. But I mean, if you have him, you're starting him. You know, unless you want to bench him for Darnell Mooney.
Oh, you have to start him.
No. You don't. We're benching him, Garrett Wilson, Saquon, Mike Evans when he comes back. All these guys. We're getting him out of here.
That's crazy.
We're getting him out of here.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, that was a great episode. Tune in next week. We're gonna see. I'm curious. Tune in next week. We'll see how CMC does do. I don't know if they are gonna play him or not, and hopefully he stays healthy. Because it'll be great, and it'll make a lot of fantasy owners happy. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in and keep tuning in and let us know if whatever we're saying out of our ass is helping.
Yep.
I feel like sometimes it does, and sometimes just don't listen to us. But
100%.
If you want good fantasy advice, do the opposite of what I said.
Yeah, Sutton's probably wide receiver 1 this week. Oh, God.
Let's hope not. But anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Adios.
Thank you for listening to the Porch Beer Sports Podcast. Follow and subscribe for weekly content.